Okay. I think y'all can hear me now. Is it working? Treasure Rat, is it working? I don't know. But anyway, welcome to Weekly Storytime. It's been a second since I've done this, because I had to pre-record the last one. I'm pre-recording this one to an extent. Whew. People. Day 5,662 working here in the Nether. We're working on this pathway because I quite frankly have nothing better to do. So, let's just get right into it. So, for the first story, I got a thought here. So, the thought is, and this is just pure shower thoughts. This is a shower thought, 100%. So, bye-bye, Piglin. Oh, monster. You know how, like, you got flying insects? Like, we got butterflies and wasps and bees and all the stuff. What happens when they're in a moving car? Now, the answer can vary. If they fly around in a moving car that has their windows down, it will fly freely. Also, I don't know what I'm doing. However, if the car has its windows rolled up, the insect will fly freely. However, if the vehicle has windows open and it's flying in the right position, it will get bounced around by the airstream that the car is not only creating because of, well, like, it's being aerodynamic. However, if you had, like, your sunroof open and you had a freaking convertible, that's obviously a different answer. Because a convertible basically is the air. There is no ceiling in a convertible. When you have it open, that's just kind of how it works. Yeah, and for a while, I had that thought. What would happen? And then I finally found a video that explained it. That video's long gone, probably. I don't know where it is. It probably exists in a shadow realm of some sort. Yeah. So, there's a little idea I had. I was thinking, you know what, I might as well have some thoughts on that. Okay, I need to turn this into a two-way pathway. Next up, and I'm gonna put stairs on this eventually. I'm assuming y'all know I have recently returned from New York City. And while in New York City, I got the opportunity to visit the USS Intrepid. That's a great museum there. I'm big on aviation, I'm big on the military. I find it fascinating. And the USS Intrepid was used in the Cold War and World War II and all these big conflicts. Well, it's a baby strider. It's a bunch of baby striders. Oh, look at these baby striders. How cute. However, anyway, the USS Intrepid had just a lot there, and it's a aircraft carrier, so you can actually see, like, the base of an aircraft carrier, and you get to go into the hull, the first layer, and then there's a second layer that has a little bit there. Like, I think that's where the kitchen and the boiler rooms were. However, my favorite part was not even on the boat. I'm big on aviation. They had planes there, but they had the Concorde. I'm assuming. Well, hon, if you don't know what the Concorde is, it's basically this supersonic plane that was around in the 1970s to the early 2000s. It was operated by two airlines, Air France and British Airways. However, it was jointly operated with Singapore Airlines for their London to Singapore flight. I'm getting very nerdy right here, and I'm pretty sorry. However, it's weekly story time. Might as well. Yeah. I don't know what to say. But anyway, this jet there's only 20 made. And the one that was at the Intrepid was the Alpha Delta. And the Alpha Delta, I believe, was... I don't know. I actually can't remember now. But there was also... So, not all 20 were actually commercially operated. There were some test ones. However, all but one survived. There was one tragic crash on Air France in 2003. That's just, no, 2000, might have been year 2000, or something like that. That caused the Concorde to cease operations for a couple of months, to where it operated for 2 more years or so, before inevitably being discontinued due to the incredibly high fuel costs. Like, that plane was scary to manage. You were relying on the customers paying for it, but after the crash, nobody wanted to fly on it because they thought it was unsafe, and you didn't have any money. Well, you had money because you're British Airways and Air France, big companies, but you didn't have money getting from the passengers. And this flight, like this plane was already really, I wouldn't call it dumb, because it's smart. Think about it. People want to try supersonic. You can fly across the Atlantic in 4 hours. But at the same time, it's about double the cost of Boeing 747. Take your pick. So I think the Concorde's cool, but I do see why it suspended operations, and it also run out of crates of wood for this pathway. Oh dear. Let's go get more wood before I lose my thoughts. I've already lost my thoughts. Let's see. So there, the seats were covered up. I got to go inside Concorde. I got to see the exterior of the jet fuel stuff. I don't know how to explain it. It was just amazing. At the end, I might try and pull up some pictures. However, there were other planes there. They had tons of warplanes, and I mean tons of warplanes. Like, they had, man, I can't name them. I think they had F-15, not an F-22. I really want to see an F-22, but not yet. But they had tons of stuff. They had this weird looking German plane that has this big bulb on top, which actually was a radar. Pretty smart. And it was used in World War I, I think. No, it's World War II. And they also had the Space Shuttle Pavilion, which had the literal US Enterprise, or however you say it. The test spaceship before they actually launched something. Which is crazy. I mean, it's huge. That is a very large aircraft. It's probably a little larger than an A380. I mean, if you've been to the Intrepid, you know. But if you've not been to the Intrepid, you don't know. See? See how that works? Yeah, that spaceship was incredibly fascinating And they also had the landing capsule there. They had the original landing capsule. Uh-oh. Have I deforested this whole place? But yeah, that landing capsule, it's tight. I'm not sure how they fit 3 people in there. Let's see. I guess I'm just summing up my New York trip. So let's just do that. I went to the Bronx Zoo on last Monday, and that was. They love birds there. I've learned that they've absolutely they adore their birds. More birds than I think I've seen any zoo have. Oh dear. And then they also had some other stuff. One of my favorite animals is a baboon. I got to see baboons. Only a couple people I know baboon lore. Okay, Jiggles, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. I might release the baboon lore one day, but not today. The baboon lore is gonna stay here. But yeah, I got to see baboons. They have a sandcats. They're cats. That's all they are. But they're like specially adapted cats for the desert, which makes them a different animal, not domesticated. It's not domesticated. But those things look like house cats. They might be a little more adorable than house cats. Some would argue. They have them at the Columbus Zoo as well, because I went to that one too. They did have it there. Anything else that was there? I'm trying to think. Oh no. Okay, yeah, they had the infamous naked mole rat. But those things must have just had babies, because you could look into like their tunnel area. There was at least 50 in one area, piled on. Some might have been suffocated. There was a ton of them, and because they're blind, they can't see what they're doing. So they were all like piled up. And that was a sight to see. I'm pretty sure those things have live birth. That would be really weird if they laid eggs. They're just making me worse. Let's see. What did I do on Tuesday? Oh, I know what I did on Tuesday. I went shopping. Yeah, I went Pokemon card shopping. I bought a lot of cards. Oh, crazy expensive up there. I mean, I get it. They gotta make their money, but I'm trying to figure out the places I went to. It was mostly Pokemon card shopping. I did go to J&L Game. Really great selection. Fair prices for the city. I got myself a Wii Zapper and Disney Infinity 3.0 for the Xbox 360. That store has a lot. And then we went to Bifrost Games. Bifrost Games, yeah. I'm gonna be honest, they did not have much. I went in there expecting them to have a lot. They mostly had Magic, and all they had was Chaos Rising. And sure, I did get a couple packs of I did get a couple packs of Chaos Rising, but I actually pulled absolutely nothing. I pulled one Crocodile EX from everything. I also bought a pack of Brilliant Stars, a pack of Astral Radiance, Lost Origin, and Crown Zenith. Pulled nothing from any of those. Crown Zenith was $25 a pack. So, if you want to go card shopping, maybe not New York. New York, they have a lot, but wow, it's expensive. And there was a different store we went to. If you like sports cards, I didn't check the sports card market. I have a couple. I have one of Alec Eye Manor that I know of. And I bought like one pack of it a while ago at a random Walgreens. There was a store that had stuff. It was near Macy's. It was near the Macy's. I'm trying to think what we did on Wednesday, because I was about, well, on the other stores I went to, the Trainer Court, they had a lot. Featured in Deep Pocket Monster. Go check that channel out. It's a really cool channel. And then we went to Bleecker Trading, which, wow. That was an environment to be in. Yeah. I mean, I guess it was fine, but yeah. But then, yeah, on Wednesday we went to Central Park, and I just played Pokemon Go, to be honest. That's all I really did. I followed my first route in Pokemon Go and got 0 Zygarde cells because I was foolish and didn't know how you got them. Now I'm not foolish. I know how to get them, and I've been grinding them. And I'm probably gonna make a series on this channel where I grind Zygarde cells every day until I got the event. Ooh, until I get the 100% form Zygarde. As we watch these Pokemon fight, the other thing I did on Wednesday, I went to. Oh no, which park? Bryant Park. I went to Bryant Park. Great for Pokemon Go. They have. They're at Bryant Park. They're 3 main sections of Bryant Park. You have the lower area, which is the area behind the big stage that when I was there had a yoga class. And then there's the middle area behind the New York Public Library. And there's a top area in front of the public library. So all in all, I went there for Rushy Ram Raid Hour. 0 shinies, by the way. I somehow didn't get a shiny. Shiny Rushy Ram. No, I did not get a shiny Rushy Ram. I mean, I did get a shiny Rushy Ram, but that's for later. And I have a video coming out on Saturday about all my Pokemon Go stuff. So stay tuned for that. But yeah. 0 shinies, but great rating there. There were some questionable people. I'm not going to go into depth on that. But that's New York. You're going to have some interesting encounters. Bruh. Okay, well, anyway, on Thursday, went to the USS Intrepid, like I said. Also went to go see Hamilton. It was a pretty good show, I guess. Not quite the show for me. It's a musical. And I felt like they could have a little more dialogue instead of literally just a ton of songs. I mean, don't get me wrong, the songs were pretty good. And the King George actor nailed it. That apparently King George went mad, so he was portraying that, and he did very good at it. But yeah, that was about it for New York, because then on Friday flew out. I got there Sunday, flew out Friday. Sunday the 31st, and then just flew out on the 5th. However, on the Uber ride there, I was able to get the shiny Reshiram. I was able to do it. I know. And we got Zekrom today, when I'm uploading this. Today is Zekrom. I'm praying for a shiny Zekrom, bro. I mean, I know when I fuse it with Kyurem, it's gonna do nothing because it takes Kyurem stats, not Zekrom or Reshirams. But I want a shiny Zekrom, you know? I'm also realizing this video is getting pretty long. So, I don't know why I just filled that in with another rack. So, you know what? I think I'm just gonna end it here. But, yeah. Thank you guys for watching. I'm actually gonna have a video coming out tomorrow for the Forever World. We're gonna be back working on the honey farm. And then... No! I got my uploading schedule wrong. Tomorrow's a Let's Play episode, and then Friday I will have something coming out, and then obviously you heard Saturday as Pokemon Go video, and there's gonna be something else on Saturday. So stay tuned for that. I wanna, if you've been watching my videos, Treasure Rat, thank you. Anybody else? Hopefully this sound update makes you more happy. And I hope to see you going forward. But yeah. So see you in the next one.